Welcome back to Financial Minds. I'm Jamie Agostino. For the past several weeks, we've met with several departments at Vizo Financial. Throughout the series, we've had the opportunity to meet these teams that power Vizo Financial every single day. To wrap up the series, we're sitting down with the executive leadership team. This team helps guides the overall vision and strategy of the corporate, ensuring Vizo Financial continues growing, innovating, and serving members at the highest level. Their leadership helps connect every department, every initiative, and every decision back to the mission and long-term success. Please welcome Fred Eisel, Lori Gall, and Jeff Stoner. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi.
All right, could each of you, just in case there's someone out there that doesn't know any of you, could you take a moment and introduce yourself for the audience?
I'll start. Fred Eisel, President and CEO. I've been in the position for about 2.5 years now. Prior to that, I was the Senior Vice President, Chief Investment Officer for Vizo Financial for the 23 years prior to that. So a long time in the balance sheet side of the house, and now CEO role for the last 2.5 years.
I'll go next, Jeff. Yep.
Sure.
Lori Gall, I'm the COO. Prior to that, I was the Chief Risk Officer for many, many years at the corporate. And next year, I'll be celebrating my 40th anniversary at the corporate.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Stoner. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer. This is my 35th year, so a little bit behind Lori, but been around a while and have worked in. I started out as a member service rep and have worked in every department except marketing. So I'm happy to be here and privileged to be in my position.
Well, thank you again for being here. So, accelerating credit union success is the mission of Vizo Financial. What does that actually look like in practice for the credit unions we serve?
Well, I'll start. A few years back, we started talking. We've always talked to our credit unions on exactly what they're looking for, what they need strategically, what they're working on. And we've always, and we're not going to forget what we are as a corporate, our legacy type products and services, our money management, our education, our payments piece. But we really wanted to talk to our membership and say, what do you need for the future to grow? What do you need for the future to be viable for your membership? We ask the same thing for ourselves. What do we need to do as a corporate to be viable for our members and our credit unions? And what that looks like is helping them truly be a strategic partner in solutions and functions that they need assistance with. And what that looks like for us right now, where we strategically made a shift, is really focusing on the AI technology space, number one, and number two, in the risk management space. Fraud, cybersecurity, risk management is not going away. In fact, it's getting more difficult and more sophisticated. On the fraudster side, so to kind of manage that and protect yourself is getting more difficult. And we've had the talent and support, and some of the partners we've had, we feel it was important to kind of deliver that to our credit unions. On the AI side, it's not a trend. It's been talked about for the last couple of years. Every conference you go to, if it's not one topic, it's every topic. We saw that a few years ago, and trying to deliver solutions to our members to help them grow, help them manage delinquencies of default, a variety of things. So these are areas where we, with our scale, can embrace and deliver solutions to our membership that can really allow them to be prepared for the future, help accelerate their success by being more efficient, smarter, and really on top of what is happening out there today, specifically to risk and AI and technology.
Jeff, Lori, any additional comments there?
I think that Fred covered it very well. We are a liquidity provider. We still do provide payments. These are important things. We will not stop doing these things, but to help our credit unions evolve into the future is also part of our mission. And we're here to do that with tangible solutions.
Yeah. And just to add, I think that whenever you look at the staffing, I think that's a big key that the corporate brings to help us fulfill that mission. is, the incredible team that we're able to put together. And, that comes to certifications, talent that credit unions just aren't able to afford alone, but together, whenever they use the corporate, they can take advantage of that. So.
To tag along, you noticed this when we introduced ourselves. We've been around for a while, and if folks have listened to other Meet the Financial Expert podcasts and the rest of our staff, there's a lot of talent that's been around for a long time that understand the industry, understand regulation, understand their world, whether it's payments or investments. As Lori said, a lot of talent, long-term, certified, seasoned talent that's coming to the table from the corporate. That's a huge win. And kind of back to Jeff's point, we do payments, we do line of credit, we do things on that side. It's kind of legacy, but we don't want folks to think that we're not innovative on that side either. Line of credit's line of credit, money management, but we are on top of the payments world. FedNow, RTP was kind of a thing a couple years ago. It's still new and growing. We're prepared for that. We have solutions for that. And of course, stablecoin crypto is the new thing. We're working on solutions there as well. So even though we're talking AI and some really cool things for the future, the legacy is part of the corporate, we're still innovative there and still staying on top of what needs to be, what we need to stay on top of, again, to allow credit unions to grow and accelerate their success. Because if they're in the payment side, for example, they need or feel the need, their membership needs FedNow or RTP. We have that availability, which is today's new payment. It's not wires, ACH. So on both sides, we're on top of very much where we need to be to help the credit succeed. A lot of that's because we have an incredible amount of talent, seasoned talent within our staff to help credit unions kind of move forward.
All right. So why is the mission of accelerating credit union success especially important right now in today's environment?
That's a hard one. Yeah, to me, well, first of all, it's always been important. We've always been here for our members and to serve our members. To me, there's a lot more noise now. There's a lot more, you need to be doing all these different things. And which ones do you really need to be doing? Like which items are the things credit unions really need to be doing and what is noise? And I think it's important for the corporate to help them kind of wade through that and sift through it and be able to say, no, this is important. That is probably noise.
And I think you look at consolidation with credit unions. A lot of them consolidate because they say that they can't keep up with the technology or the compliance concerns. So I think that's why that mission is so critical, because those are the key things that you hear whenever a credit union is, merging or consolidating. And
Yeah.
You always had competition. Consolidation's huge. You always had competition. Think 20, 30 years back, you had a branch, you competed with other credit unions, maybe locally, definitely banks in the area, and maybe you didn't compete with those credit unions locally. Maybe you had a seg group or you just, worked together cooperatively as a credit union 30, 40 years ago. Fast forward to today with technology and the industry consolidating, a lot of folks are community charter, association based. You have a lot of merging going on, credit unions buying banks, banks competing. But now with technology, you have a lot of fintechs coming into the space that we've never had before, that have found the industry, so to speak. And, with TikTok and influencing, you have competitors like SoFi and others that you never had before. Before, again, it was what you had locally in your community, the other credit union or the other bank locally in your town, and that was competition. Today, competition is much greater. And so the need for scale it's like a race for scale. What's a small credit union today? You ask 5 people, you're going to get 5 different answers. You're going to get a wide variety of answers. Small might be 30 million. I was on a call earlier today, said the person feels like small credit union starts at about 500 million, which is a large number. But in today's world, credit unions feel like they need significant more scale and size of assets to compete with who they're competing with today, which is much different than it was 20, 30 years ago. So today it's even more important to be efficient, I don't, you need scale, but you also need to be efficient and on top of all the things we talked about, risk and technology. And that's just, it's harder nowadays for some cranes to get to that point. That's where the corporate comes in to assist.
Okay. Well, from your perspective, what are the biggest challenges credit unions are facing today, and how is Vizo Financial helping them overcome those?
I think it is the fintechs and coming in. I see credit unions who are going through core conversions because they're, sitting on some of the older systems, and the core companies are coming back and telling them that they need to convert and consolidate, and that's hard for some credit unions. I look at that, that's a big challenge, but I think it's something that they have to do to get in an advanced technology compared to where some of us were. So I mean, I see that. I see Vizo helping with that on some things. I see, just our recent move to TransCapture. I mean, that was something that we consolidated and we went in with some other corporates. I mean, that's a corporate owned platform that we invested in. And that's to help drive scale. Whenever you look at payment services, checks, it continually declined. So as part of the corporate model, we looked at that and made the decision to move that over to that TransCapture platform. And knock wood, I hope everything continues to go well with it. But those are just a couple of examples.
You think the core you talk to credit unions at various meetings, and it seems like 1 out of 3 is going through a core conversion. There's a lot of that going on. And it used to be years ago, the core would do everything. Well, actually years prior to that, long time ago, the cores did core stuff, and then the corporates provided the payment services. Over the last number of years, the core were doing everything. But now it's kind of turned back around where it's all fintech related solutions, and some solutions we're introducing. And so solutions to allow you to grow your membership and have better member engagement, solutions that provide insight and predictability for delinquencies. The cores can't come up, they can, but they can't come up with all these solutions at the speed that these are coming out. So they need to kind of come back and allow APIs and tech to come in and feed into the core. So the core is kind of dominated for a while. They're kind of backing away. So the cranes are getting smarter and realizing they need a robust core that it can allow other things to plug into it today. It's not going to be all about the core anymore. You got to plug in. And so solutions that allow the crane to understand their membership. This was kind of a retail thing. It's been happening in the retail side for a long time that these retailers know the member. They're super engaged. The younger generation wants to be told what to do. The younger generation expects the credit union to know them. That's never really been the case. And today, cranes, we have solutions where cranes can be smarter with their member and be better engaged with all membership, the younger and the older, and that helps them grow. So having those solutions, better engagement, but also back to Lori's point, it's got to be able to tie back to the core. And so that kind of has shifted how the cores behave now versus where they were maybe 5 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
I think the fintech world's an interesting one, and this is not my quote, but I've heard that fintechs, there are 3 types. There's fintechs that want to eat your lunch, meaning they're here to put you out of business. There's fintechs that want to buy you lunch, meaning we will pay you money to help sell us to your members. And there's fintechs that want to have lunch with you. So I think one of the most difficult for credit unions, and obviously the last one is partnering, and you both succeed together. And I think credit unions, fintechs can bring value to credit unions, and they can help you serve your members better than you can do yourself. But the key is finding those partners in fintechs that really they want to eat lunch with you, right? They want everyone to have the win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the big challenge too is there was a time, we're still in that time, I believe, where the larger credit unions, again, what's large, feel they can build it themselves. And sometimes they've built it themselves. With the fintech world that we're living in, the speed that's coming at everyone, it's very difficult for the large credit union, whatever that is, to build and maintain and enhance all these solutions that are coming out. So I think the importance of us as a corporate are, you know, the solutions we can provide at scale and at speed. And it comes back to even the larger credit unions need to become more efficient, and they understand they need to be more efficient to compete. So even if you're big at 5 to 10 billion, whatever that would be, they're competing at a different scale, and they've got to be efficient. For them to build things themselves becomes difficult. So I think the importance of working with the corporate that they own and being cooperative, and let's work together, and we can deliver solutions at speed and scale where they don't have to build. We do that. I think that's becomes even more important to kind of work together collaboratively with all credit unions.
All right. So, how do all the different teams that we've been talking to over the past several weeks, like treasury, accounting, PMO, marketing, security, payments, how do they all come together to deliver on this mission?
Well, this morning Jeff and I met with some new employees. I know we talk about, some of the staff that's been around a long time, but we have some new employees that have started, and we got another whole bunch of talent coming in that's, up and ready to go. And it was funny this morning, we were talking about the strategic mission of the corporate. And I looked around at the group and I said, seeing this class, because we had, how many were in the group, Jeff? Like six, maybe?
We're six.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
there
six.
were.
And I said, oh, the class of 2026. And I said, but like looking at this group, I could see in each one of their key roles how they were supporting the strategic vision of where the corporate is going, right? And that was from someone who was there to support AI, new sales and marketing folks that are coming in, a new payment service specialist that's part of the group, and then someone in accounting that we could tie back all of their roles and how they're supporting that mission moving forward. So,
And Laura, you had a good example, I think earlier in the week or last week on a transcapture situation where we rectified the problem with the member, but it included a number of departments and people as part of that solution. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, we did. So as part of Transcapture, we had, I saw in the CRM and some of the notes that one of the credit unions that one of our new account reps reached out to indicated that the conversion went so well for them that they were going to look at other products and services. And, that was key to pull everything together. Again, showing not only internally our team, but being able to celebrate that success out with our member credit unions. Hearing that's just a wonderful thing to know that we've delivered on something that was pretty incredible and made an impression with that credit union. And now they were willing to look at some other products and services. Is that because I tell you a lot of stories, Fred?
I think that was it. That was one of them, and I think it's a message we try to deliver to the staff all the time. Whether you're in IT or PMO or accounting, it's like, yeah, I don't really impact the member as somebody that faces the member. It's like, no, you do, in a way. Now, you may not see it directly, you may not see the member directly, but for the account manager that goes out and is member facing, or myself, or the three of us, all four of us here on this call, member facing, you're going to hear from the member what went well, what didn't went well. If it went well, a product or service that went well, clearly there's a lot of people behind the scenes at the corporate getting that delivered at a way that's incredibly good member service and a delivery that's very, very strong. So that could be IT that's part of programming that. It's PMO that's making sure the project gets there on time. There's a lot of people involved at the corporate level that may not be member facing. They all work very, very well together. We hit record scores in our culture scores. We use Gallup for our culture measurement, and the last couple of years have hit all-time highs. And this last year in 2025 hit an all-time high in Gallup. At the same time, we blew away our all-time high record on our member service rating in 2025 as well. So I've always said, if we have a happy and engaged employee, that's number one priority. You're going to have a happy, engaged member because the employee cares, and it shows in the numbers. So just continue messaging to the group internally to see that everything that they do is is creating what we deliver to the member. And what we're doing is really good work, and it's showing. And I don't remember see it, and they tell us when they rate us that we're doing a great job. So it takes everybody that we have internally to do what we're doing. Very appreciative.
So, what would you say makes a corporate credit union uniquely positioned to support credit unions compared to other partners in the industry?
Well, that's what we were created for.
We're owned, yeah, we're owned by our members. I'm sorry, Lori.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, you own us. We are here to serve you. We are not here to enrich shareholders. We are here to help our credit unions survive and thrive. And we're uniquely positioned because that's all we have to do. That's all we think about every single day is how do we make our credit unions better credit unions.
You look at a fintech that's offering a product or solution. They're working with credit unions. They're also working with banks. Our book of business is the credit union industry, and we're not adding more. The industry, as we discussed earlier, is shrinking. So we've got to do a really good job of serving them really, really well. But Vizo Financial specifically, we're in a very good position with capital. We're in a capital position today that provides very good strength and ability to invest in people internally to continue to build this class of 2026 to kind of build new talent to come in. We do need succession planning as a big part of our strategic plan because we do have a lot of seasoned folks, tenured, seasoned, whatever the proper term is. We have a ton of experience, but folks will be leaving over the next number of years, and we've got to replace that. So investing in people, talent, solutions, making sure their internal operations are efficient. So while we're introducing really cool AI tools, we've got to make sure internally we're just as slick and as efficient. So as a corporate, we're well positioned with capital. We know, to Jeff and Lori's point, this is why we were created. We know the industry, we know the regulator, we know the regulations, we know the challenges. We see everyone out there. We know a lot of your board members. We know the challenges there that you face. This is all we do. But we're well positioned to help with that because that's all we do. And we're in a financial position to help in any way we can, whether it's investing in a QSO, buying a QSO, creating a QSO, which we have done. I think we've got a good balance of this is our industry. This is why we're created. We know it. And financially, we're in a position structurally to actually make some changes and really be effective.
How do you balance innovation and stability, especially in such a highly regulated industry?
It's an art. Yeah, it really, well, yeah, well, first of all, it's about risk and control, right? And we do a very good job with controls networks. And we will take risks with capital, but they are very measured risks. They are very conservative risks. And we know when that risk or that investment meets a certain milestone, then it will get reinvestment or it won't. We won't keep pouring money into something that doesn't seem to be working. But so we're very measured and careful with it. But at the same time, if you don't take some risk and you don't innovate, you don't move forward as an organization and you're not truly serving your members.
And I think we do a better job of that even lately, because I know one of the things that we say is kind of fail fast. We're going to look, I know, Fred, you talk about that a lot whenever you're talking to credit unions, like, okay, we're going to look at this and we're going to see what it is. But if it's not what we need, then, we're going to kind of shift gears and look at something else. And I think that that's also, whenever Jeff talks about a measured approach, that's part of the measurement is, what do we need to do? Is this where we need to be investing right now? And you think about crypto, I mean, there's a lot of talk there.
Yeah.
That makes me very, very nervous. I'll be honest. So,
it's the shiny object. We talk to our members. What do they need? Again, we're always talking to our membership. What do you need? What are you looking for? What problem are you trying to solve in that space specifically? And they can't answer the question. So, and we have a trouble answering it ourselves. So that's an area where we're paying attention to it. We're studying it, kind of stepping back a little bit. But we are highly regulated, but at the same time, we have ability to do a lot of things. We as a corporate have our own regulation versus natural person credit unions. And I always compare it to like a sandbox. Our sandbox is smaller than it used to be, but even Vizo Financial, we play in kind of the corner of the sandbox, and we do extremely well with that financially, and are able to do a lot of things playing in that tight sandbox. And the natural person credit union, same thing. While they're regulated, and sometimes they'll complain about the regulator and the NCUA, credit unions can do a lot of different things, a lot of cool things within that regulatory box. They just got to be open to it. A lot of times, honestly, the credit unions struggle because of management challenges or senior management challenges. A lot of times it's board challenges where the senior management team want to do something different and the board kind of holds them back a little bit. It's not a regulatory issue. A lot of times it's a people issue at the credit union space. And so, we kind of to Lori's point, I would rather strategically go down the road with a plan, kind of like Lori and Jeff were saying. We have a plan, we have a measured plan, and I'd rather be on that road making strategic decisions to pivot and at some point get out than sit back and not try to go down that road at all. While you're on that road, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to meet other vendors and partners and other people, and you may make a completely different strategic decision, but at least you're in the game playing. What we've done much better here lately is if it's not working, we will fail fast. We will get out, move on, and make a tough decision to move on. That's what we've got to do, but I'd rather be in the game and get out quick than not get in the game and say, we shoulda, coulda. Why didn't we? Well, what risks are we afraid of? We're in the regulatory framework. There are risks that are measured. We understand them. Our board understands them, but I'd rather be on that road trying it out, pivoting, at least learning through the process than being scared of regulation and everything else and just standing back and not doing anything. That doesn't help us as a corporate. AsureSec doesn't help our membership who wants us to take risks and be the lead as their corporate credit union, trying different things, whether it's risk management solutions or AI solutions. We are delivering them. If you have no interest, you're not ready, fine, but we're there. And that's where we want to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just the crypto stablecoin is a good example, really, that we've already touched on, in that we will make investments in the stablecoin world. We will have products that our members need, and we will bring it to them. We are not giving in to kind of which I call the fear mongering noise right now, where if you're not doing something yesterday, you're already out of business. And we think that that is a sales tactic and not the right way to make a decision. We're going to understand it. We're going to make a measured investment. Yes, we will take some risk. It will be a limited risk. And if it doesn't pay off, we will fail and pivot. And if it does pay off, we will double down and we will keep moving. But we will support our members because they're going to need to see, whether you want to or not, you're going to need to do something with this new product line. And we're going to be there for them.
Okay. All right. So looking ahead, how do you see the needs of credit unions evolving over the next few years? And how is Vizo Financial preparing for that?
Well, I'd say it's AI. I think it's helping credit unions know their members better. I think that's a big key. I don't know, Jeff, do you want to add anything to that part of it?
No, I agree with that. And there's some other, I again, giving into the fear that AI is going to replace us all and it's going to be a Terminator situation. And what I see is, I think internally to Vizo and for our members, I think AI can help us better serve our members. I don't think it eliminates positions. I think it changes the positions you need. I think it helps you more quickly conduct analysis that someone can then decision on and serve members more efficiently and really more specialized. I mean, you can get into a situation where you can serve members almost on an individual need without having to have a staff of 2,000 people, right? Or 2 people to 1 member, whatever it works out to be. Really, so I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I think that I believe that's going to continue to evolve, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Well, and just to add on to that, some of the solutions that we've been looking at and discussing, they empower credit union employees. I look at one of the presentations that we saw, and I could see a teller being empowered to do a whole lot more and being able to serve that member like immediately right then and there versus having to go back and ask. Again, it's people are afraid of it, but I think it's an empowerment tool. So
Jeff said it's evolution.
Yeah.
It is going to make the credit unions way more efficient, large and small. For the large, they're going to be more efficient and they're going to be able to do more things that they want to do at scale. For the small to mid-size that have a resource challenge and can't hire people and don't have the people, AI is a game changer for them because they won't have to hire as many people because AI will make them more efficient. So the small to mid-size need to embrace it because this is what's happening, but it allows them to really compete and grow going forward. Um, AI, like Jeff said, AI is not replacing people. It'll replace how we do things. I was on a call yesterday comparing, we have Cultivate AI, which is the industry knowledge base that we're working with Vertus AI and Filene with. And this is an industry-wide knowledge base platform. And so the question was presented to us of where's the value in that? Why would we do that? And my comparison in my mind is, well, remember back when we went to chapter meetings, and backing up a little bit, some people say, why do we need an industry knowledge base? I have my own knowledge base at the credit union. Well, your knowledge base at the credit union is only as good as your knowledge base. So, back 20 years ago, we would go to a chapter meeting. The four of us would sit at the table and I'd share my knowledge with the three of you. You'd share. That's how we did it back then. But that doesn't happen today. Then there was the listserv. Well, I got an email now. I'll send an email out. Hey, you guys have a policy on something on commercial lending, let's say, and we would share knowledge that way. So Cultivate AI is the newest tool today. That did not take away the chapter meeting. That didn't take away the listserv. They just went away naturally. And Cultivate AI is now the new way to communicate and share knowledge because that is an industry and as a society, that's how we're operating. Same with the credit union. You called in or you went to the MSR to make a transaction. Now it's an app or a website, and the app better be slick and good. You can do all kinds of things with the app. It's not because we're trying to replace. They're not replacing people. If you look at the credit union, they're continuing to add people. To Jeff's point, you're not adding more MSRs. You're adding more people in tech, AI, strategy, member engagement, other areas within the credit union. The demand for people has not gone away with AI. I don't think it's going to go away. It's going to look a little different. But AI is not changing and taking things away. It's kind of in my mind, it's making things more efficient and getting us in a direction we're already going. We're just kind of supplementing and making more efficient things that we haven't really thought about for a while. So that technology, we have to embrace it. And I think it changes the game for the credit union industry if they want to compete, especially the small to mid. You got to embrace the innovation.
Yeah. I keep hearing a lot of people saying that it helps level the playing field for
Definitely.
all asset sizes. So
Definitely.
Definitely
And that's the
does.
value of the corporate. For a small to mid-size, we can deliver solutions that are top notch at a price point that's very effective for a small to mid-sized credit union. With the support, we have the ability to hire people ourselves to support the credit union. That way, they're not hiring the people. That's the value we bring. Great solutions, very top-notch solutions at a good price point with support from the back end on our side to help the credit union. So as long as the credit union's engaged with us and takes advantage of that, that levels the playing field for all credit unions to be very, very competitive.
Jamie, I think I'm going to put you on the spot. I think you have a list of all the certifications that the Vizo staff has.
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like we need to update it because I know there's so many more. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of certifications within the staff here at Vizo Financial. And I always look at it as like Vizo Financial, we're an extension of your own credit union staff. So leverage us for our knowledge because we're here to serve you. And so that's what I feel the credit unions get by being a member of Vizo Financial. That's what
I think
cooperative.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing we provide, we don't sell it, so to speak. We don't market it as the consulting side, so to speak. Consulting in a sense where, Jamie, you're at the booth and somebody asks you at a conference about certain things, and you're providing your insight. You have insight. We have insight of 700 plus members, 1,300 cranes we work with. We're the aggregator, so we kind of know where the industry's at and who's doing what. So we are kind of the old school knowledge base, right? Cultivate will be the new, but we're the old school, and we have a lot of people on staff that are certified, seasoned, educated, know the industry well. So the huge value we provide is talking to our credit unions one-on-one at their board at a conference and imparting our knowledge we have on the industry in general with them. That's a huge value. And our members tell us that the huge value of our knowledge and our expertise is a big benefit for our members.
Yeah. All right. So my final question for credit unions listening, what's the one thing you want them to understand about how Vizo Financial is accelerating credit union success?
One thing.
Just one.
It's the
It's
one
hard
thing
to
you
do
want
just.
them to I know it's
Not
Yeah.
one word, just one thing.
yeah, what's one thing you want them
Yeah.
to understand about how Vizo Financial?
Well, I think it goes back to one of your earlier questions. We're here for them. It's the only reason we exist.
Yeah.
And we will serve our members and do what our members need us to do to support them, no matter what it takes.
Yeah.
And without exception.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. You know, we're the credit unions, we need to help them succeed. That's what we're here for. They own us.
Yeah.
You know, we're a credit union's credit union. It's
Yeah.
what we're chartered for.
Yeah, I always kind of say that we're a little selfish in the respect that we want them to be successful, because if they're successful, we're successful. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want the credit union industry to thrive. And that's where this innovation and the investing in innovation and technology and all the things we're doing is to benefit them. So if we're able to do that on the back end to help them leverage and find specific use cases to leverage AI, so that this little credit union can use this little piece of AI and they're being more efficient. I mean, that's what it's all about. So
For every credit, not just our members, but for every credit that's listening, to appreciate that Vizo Financial has never been in a better position than we are today. We're extremely well positioned to do what Lori and Jeff has said. We are here to help in any capacity whatsoever. We have the financial strength, the capital strength, we have the talent, we have the desire from our staff, management team, senior management team, and board to innovate and try different things and think outside the box and do whatever we can. If a member comes to us with some crazy idea, we're willing to listen. So for our membership and our credit unions, we have never been in a better position. You own a corporate that's extremely well positioned, independent, very strong, and very willing to take some risks and be ahead of the game and be there for the credit unions, be a viable corporate for our credit unions for a long time to come.
all right. Well, thank you, Fred, Lori, Jeff, for taking the time to share your insights, your experience, and your perspective with us. It's clear the success of Vizo Financial is driven not only by strategy and innovation, but its strong commitment to the employees, but also the member credit unions. I'd also like to thank Vizo Financial's 26th annual meeting for sponsoring today's episode. Vizo Financial's annual meeting is coming to a screen near you on June 17th. This member-only event will be a virtual meeting to announce the board of directors election, review the corporate's financials, as well as discuss various executive reports and innovation strategies. So all credit union staff are invited to attend with an authorized representative from their credit union. There's no cost to attend the annual meeting, but registration is required. So please visit www.vfccu.org for more information. I hope this Meet the Team series on Financial Minds Meet the Experts has given you a better understanding of all the people and the teams working together here at Vizo Financial to move Vizo Financial and the credit unions forward. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and make it a great day.